A man dies. Pretty standard isekai setup so far, right? The goddess appears. She asks the question every single one of us has daydreamed about. What do you want to be reincarnated as? A hero with cheat skills, a demon lord, an overpowered harem protagonist. And this absolute menace looks her dead in the eyes and says, a hero's rib. Not the hero, the rib bone, sitting inside a ribcage. The animation style immediately violently shifts into something that looks like a fever dream directed by Peter Chung at 3 in the morning. And right there, I knew this isekai season was going to be completely, certifiably insane. Because here's what nobody told you, 2026 might be the single most stacked isekai season we have seen in years. Legends are returning from the dead, brand new chaos is entering the ring, and there's at least one show so bad it loops back around into being a war crime. So sit down and lock in, because we're counting down 10 of them, and I'm not pulling punches on a single one. Number 10. My Ribdiculous Reincarnation. The full Japanese title literally translates to, Goddess, what do you want to turn into when you're reincarnated? Me, into a hero's rib. That's the pitch, that's the whole show. In this world, the good reincarnation slots, Demon King, Harem Hero, the usual power fantasy garbage, have a 50,000-year waiting list. Our guy refuses to wait. So instead, he speedruns the weirdest possible options. A rib, a hermit crab, a vegetable, and at one point, an explosive specifically designed to blow up happy couples. This man is built differently, and I mean that as a genuine threat. On paper, this show should be completely unwatchable. The comedy is pure reference humor, low-hanging fruit. Hey, remember that other isekai? The laziest joke format that exists. Even Anime News Network's reviewer admitted the jokes couldn't get a single laugh out of them. And yet they also called it infuriatingly pretty great. Because the moment this show stops doing parody and commits to its own bizarre story, incorporating the Judeo-Christian creation myth of all things, it becomes something genuinely novel. But the real reason you're watching is the animation. Every single reincarnation gets its own art style. Stop motion, puppet theater, live action inserts. That hero's rib segment looks like nothing else airing right now. This is a show carried entirely by directorial swagger. Number 9. Farming Life in Another World, Season 2. This show is the anime equivalent of a weighted blanket. Hiraku Makio lived a sad, lonely, sickly life on Earth and gets a do-over in a fantasy world where he simply farms. That's it. He builds a big tree village, attracts a slowly growing cast of monsters, elves, dragons, and all kinds of creatures who just want to vibe and harvest crops together. Season 2 from Studio Zero G continues exactly that energy. More facilities, more visitors, more cozy. And here's where I'll defend it, because the isekai fans who dismiss slice of life are genuinely missing out. Not every show needs stakes. The entire appeal here is the psychology of safety. This is a story about a man who was denied a peaceful life on Earth and is finally being allowed to just exist. There's something quietly devastating about that if you actually pay attention instead of waiting for a fight scene. This was ranked one of the most anticipated returning shows of the entire season in Japanese polls, and that's not nothing. This is the show you put on at 1 in the morning when the world has been too loud. Let it cook, let it be slow, that's the point. Number 8. The strongest job is Appraiser. The premise is that the strongest job class isn't hero or sage, but Appraiser. Hibiki Manaba gets isekai'd with the appraisal skill, and on paper, fine. The underpowered skill that's secretly broken genre has produced genuine bangers. The concept of outthinking enemies through information rather than brute force is actually good. The execution here, though? Anime News Network's reviewer described it, and I'm cleaning this up for the algorithm, as a stinky doo-doo sandwich with a side of suck-ass fries. They were openly asking whether it was the worst isekai they'd ever been forced to sit through. The animation is flat, the comedy whiffs, and it takes 30 full seconds just to slap a stat screen on screen. But here's my genuinely contrarian take. It ranked second on Abima's Spring 2026 streaming charts in Japan. Either the critics are completely out of touch, or there is a massive silent audience that just wants zero-calorie comfort food isekai with zero thought required, and they will defend it to the death. Both can be true. I think this show is genuinely mid, but the fact that its printing numbers tells you something real about what the isekai audience actually wants versus what we claim we want. Number 7. The Most Heretical Last Boss Queen, From Villainess to Savior, Season 2. Pride Royal Ivy realizes at age 8 that she's been reincarnated as the final boss villainess of an Odom game, destined to be the cruel queen everyone despises before getting defeated. Most villainous protagonists try to quietly dodge their bad ending. Pride looks at her designated evil tyrant role and says, no. I'm going to weaponize boss-tier powers and crown princess influence to actively save everyone the game was going to let suffer. Full transparency, the Ann critic called it the My Next Life as a villainess we have at home. That's a fair shot. The early childhood pacing is a known weakness of the villainous genre. But here's my hill and I'm dying on it. Pride is a more interesting power fantasy than 90% of male isekai protagonists, because her cheat skill isn't strength, it's ruthless benevolence. She uses tyrant-level authority for good, and the show is genuinely tense about whether absolute power, used kindly, is still corrupting. Season 2 ages the cast up, throws in a Lancelot-Arthur-Guinevere-style love triangle, and the doom clock is ticking. She's 16, 2 years from her villainous fate. It's flying completely under the radar, and that's exactly why I'm telling you. Underrated. Number 6. Reincarnated as a dragon hatchling. This is the underdog story this list desperately needed. Our guy doesn't reincarnate as an overpowered chosen one. He reincarnates as an immobile, powerless dragon egg at the absolute bottom of the food chain. To even hatch, he has to level up by surviving the very monsters that want to eat him as a snack. That's the cold open of his entire existence. Director Yuta Takamura, who has JoJo's bizarre adventure pedigree, absolutely nails the survival psychology here. There's a real primal tension in being weak in a world that doesn't care about you. The protagonist Yuusha is guided by a mysterious divine voice that's doing far more narrative work than it first appears. This show understands that growth only feels earned when the weakness was real first. It's a 12-episode first season, easy to binge, and massively underrated. If you skip this because it looked like just another reincarnation show, you're missing out. Number 5. There was a cute girl in the hero's party, so I tried confessing to her. It sounds like throwaway harem fluff you'd scroll right past. And that is exactly the trap. Because this premise is doing something most isekai are too cowardly to attempt, it just lets the guy confess. Immediately, no 200-episode breakdown, no will they won't they, no tournament arc used to delay the obvious. He sees a cute girl in the hero's party, and instead of the genre-mandated emotional constipation, he actually says the words out loud. The most radical thing a romance anime can do in 2026 is have a character communicate. We've been so trained by this medium to expect cowardice, the blush, the almost confession, the 7-season slow burn, that a protagonist with the spine to just say it feels revolutionary. It shouldn't feel revolutionary, but it does. And that's a damning thing to say about the genre. This show looks like nothing and it's secretly something. It's about the terror and the relief of actually being honest with someone. Number 4. Release That Witch. Strategy isekai fans, this is your entry point, and you've been waiting. Most isekai protagonists get a sword and a cheat skill. This guy Roland gets a kingdom, and instead of swinging a blade, he runs it like an industrial engineer. Factory production, infrastructure, civic reform, logistics. It's isekai for people who enjoy the management screen in a strategy game more than the combat itself. Here's my genuinely contrarian take. This is harder to write than a battle shonen. Anyone can choreograph a fight scene, making a viewer feel the dopamine hit of a supply chain finally working, of a persecuted group being given dignity and purpose, of a kingdom leveling up because someone competent finally cared. That's an entirely different storytelling muscle. If you bounced off Fight Monster Get Stronger isekai years ago, this is the one that brings you back. Number 3. A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. I need to be straight with you here. The useless skill that's secretly the best skill genre has been mined about 8,000 times. This show lives or dies entirely on execution because the premise, a guy with a humble gathering skill turns out to be quietly broken, is not new. But here's the nuance the dismissive crowd misses. The appeal of this subgenre was never novelty. It's the slow drip competence fantasy, the specific low-stakes satisfaction of mastering an unglamorous skill while everyone underestimates you, and then quietly mogging the people who look down on you. It's comfort food with a revenge aftertaste. This is a 2 episodes in the background while you do chores show, and I say that with zero disrespect. That is a legitimate and valuable category of anime. Not everything has to be absolute cinema. Some things just have to be reliably pleasant, and there's real craft in that too. Number 2. Zero Starting Life in Another World, Season 4. 5 years we waited. 5. White Fox dropped it on April 8, 2026, structured specifically to destroy you. 19 episodes across 2 cores, the Lost Arc first, then the Recapture Arc in August. Even the names alone are emotional damage. This is Arc 6, the arc that puts Subaru's psychology through an industrial shredder. It forces him to doubt his friends, isolates him completely, and asks whether everything he's built is even real. Zero's thesis is the cruelest premise in all of isekai. An ordinary, Pathetic guy whose only power is dying repeatedly, keeping every ounce of the trauma, and being expected to fix things anyway. The cheat skill is just suffering. Hot take, and I will fight you on this. Subaru is the best written protagonist in the entire genre, and it's not even a competition. He's not the strongest, he's not the smartest, he's just the most human. White Fox is at the absolute top of their craft right now. Masahiro Shinohara is directing, and he is the GOAT. If you watch one show off this list and you can handle being hurt, it's this one. Cue a comfort show immediately after. I am not joking. And the #1 spot. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, Season 4. This is the headliner. The main event, Rimuru returned on April 3, 2026. And the scope of this is genuinely unprecedented. 5 cores, roughly 60 episodes, with the first 2 running back-to-back from April through September. All 3 previous seasons combined don't equal this. Studio 8-Bit is making one of the longest single-season commitments in modern anime history. This is pure franchise confidence. This is the payoff. All that political plotting from Season 3 that felt too slow gets cashed in right here. The Rosso family arc, Granbell and Maribel directly challenging Rimuru's coexistence dream, building toward the Eastern Empire invasion. The early Labyrinth dungeon crawl sounds like filler but is secretly setting up massive payoffs down the line. Rimuru is the most comforting power fantasy ever written, and that's exactly why it dominates. Most overpowered leads are wish fulfillment about domination. Rimuru is wish fulfillment about competence used kindly. And we get 6 months of it. 6.